T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So, hello everyone. I welcome you on this special musical session by our very favorite music club. So, without wasting any time, you all are waiting for Swam sir, and I know that. So, can shall we start, Swam?
Yes, yes, of course.
So,
So first
yeah,
of all,
you can flood the chat with the shout outs. Yeah, Swam. Over to you.
I would like to thank Spec and ITH for giving such an opportunity for to us. Had it been normal days, we would have been enjoying this session in college auditorium or a train park. So no matter what, thank you for this opportunity. So I am Swayam Kaul from Music Club in ITH, and Music Club was established in not gonna bore you anymore. Jumping straight to the song. This is Barishe by Anuj Jain. हौले से धीमे से मुझको बाहों में भर लो ना तुम नर्म सी सांसों में मुझको आहों में भर लो ना तुम सुन जरा मेरे पास आ अब बैठे हैं हम भी यहाँ दिल के दरमियाँ बारिशें बारिशें हैं तेरी सांसों पे मैंने सजा ली है दुनिया यहाँ दिल के दरमियाँ बारिशें बारिशें अब तो आती है बुलाती है बिस्तर से यूं गिराती है केसों में बाहों में बस तेरी जब बारिशें बरसती है पागल जैसे थिरकती है तुम जैसी हो बस वैसी ही रहो अब तेरे बिना यहाँ मेरी सांसें जैसे बिना निंदिया की रातें तो अब तू ही मेरे दिल की रजा है तेरे बिना दिल की खफा है तो तेरी आँखों का काजल ना फैले अब कभी भी तुझे इतना प्यार दूँ हाँ तेरी खुशियों की खातिर ये दुनिया में मेरी एक पल में वार दूँ अब बिखरी तेरी ये जुल्फों से आंखें तेरी जब दिखती हैं दिखता है मुझे वो आसमां कि खोल पंख मैं मेरे उड़ जाऊं मैं खो जाऊं मैं इस आसमां में पतंगों की तरह thank you everyone. Thank you for listening. Over to Rishabh.
So thanks a lot, Swam. Uh, Next, we are having Irshad with us. So Irshad, are you ready?
Yeah, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah. Over to you.
So myself, Irshad Ali, and from Music Club, and I'm gonna perform Fir Adil from Arjit Singh. So yeah. Hmm, फिर आया दिल मजबूर क्या कीजिए रास ना रहन दूर क्या कीजिए दिल कह रहा है उसे मुकम्मल कर भी आओ वो जो अधूरी सी बात बाकी है वो जो अधूरी सी याद बाकी है वो जो अधूरी सी याद बाकी है करते हैं हम आज कबूल क्या कीजिए हो गई थी जो हमसे भूल क्या कीजिए दिल कह रहा उसे मैसर कर भी आओ वो जो दबी सी आस बाकी है वो जो दबी सी आँच बाकी है वो जो दबी सी आँच बाकी है Thank you, everyone. Now, Rishabh sir, you can carry on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Irshad. I think you can flood the chat with yeah, you can flood the chat with the appreciation. It was really a great
Yeah.
performance. The next we are having Divyansh. Divyansh, is it audible? Everything is clear?
Yeah, everything is fine, sir.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
I
okay.
start, sir?
Go on, Divyansh. Yes, yes, you can start.
Okay, sir. Hi, everyone. I'm Divyansh Sogi, and I'm from Music Club and ITH. So today I'm gonna sing Kasoor by Pratik Kuhad. Hope you all will like it. हाँ, मैं गुमसुम हूँ इन राहों की तरह तेरे ख्वाबों में तेरे ख्वाहिशों की तरह ना जाने क्यों है ये रोज का सिलसिला दो रूह की है दास्तां तेरे जुल्फों की ये नमी, तेरी आंखों का ये नशा, यहाँ खो भी जाऊं तो मैं, क्या कसूर है मेरा, क्यों ये अफसाने इन लम्हों में खो गए, हम घायल थे इन लफ्जों में खो गए थे हम अनजाने, अब दिल में तुम हो छुपी, हम हैं शहर की परछाइयाँ, तेरे सांसों की रात है, तेरे होंठों की है सुबह, यहाँ खो भी जाऊं तो मैं, क्या कसूर है मेरा, क्या कसूर है मेरा, क्या कसूर है मेरा. Thanks everyone. Now I would like to call Rishabh sir for continue the program.
Hello. Yeah. So thank you. I you guys can comment on the
Yes,
session
yes.
in the chat box, and yeah, and I would really like to thank Swam, Irshad, and Divyansh from Music Club for such a wonderful voice.
Thank
So
you, thank
Swam,
you.
Thank you sir.
do we have time, or we can just end it here?
Uh, Ending it here was the plan, but if you have anything planned, then then we can
Sir, we
try.
can ask from the audience now. Any request from audience we can say.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah,
Yeah,
Swam.
we
Yeah.
can do that.
Just saying one thing, we are not that professional that we would sing on any demand like that, but just we can try.
Yeah, we can try.
Everyone is saying once more.
If we have time, then
Everyone is saying once more. Yeah, we are having time of 10 minutes.
okay. So Divyansh had prepared one more song, Bavara. Uh, would you like to present it, Divyansh? Wait, Divyansh is not responding.
Uh, I can continue from there. So Devyansh has some work to do, so I'm singing.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, okay. Divyansh, over to
Am I
you.
audible sir?
Yes, yes, Divyansh, you're audible. Divyansh, can you please unmute yourself? We are not having your we are not getting your voice.
Am I visible, sir, now?
Yeah, you are visible and audible too. Yes.
Okay, sir. So now I'm gonna sing Bavra from the Nalayak Band. Hope you all will enjoy it. छोटे छोटे सपने क्यों देखे, उड़ना है ऊंचा सोचे हम बड़ा, जाना है मंजिल तक तो चल जरा, आजादी लेके भी गुलाम है खड़ा, ऐसे कैसे जी रहा है, घुट के तू क्यों जी रहा, बाबरा मन मेरा, जाने ना ये क्या हो रहा है, मन चला सर फिरा, अपनी ही धुन में चला हो, ओ ओ हो। गांधी ना गांधी जैसा कोई यहाँ, बनना है बंदर सबका काम यहाँ, होते हैं गंजे पर वो बात कहाँ, पल दो पल का है सबका साथ यहाँ, ऐसे कैसे सह रहा है, घुट के तू क्यों जी रहा, बाबरा मन मेरा, जाने ना ये क्या हो रहा है, मन चला सर फिरा, अपनी ही धुन में चला हो, वो ओ वो ओ वो हो हो। Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Divyansh. It was really a wonderful session. So,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you, Swam, Shad, for giving us your valuable time. So,
Thank you.
after
Thank you
this, we
much,
are
sir.
having one EchoAR workshop. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
Okay,
Swam.
maybe
we
sir.
will leave now.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. So, next, we are having EchoAR workshop in this event in which you can build build a augmented reality app in 15 minutes. They will teach you how to make an augmented reality app in 15 minutes. Just stay for 1 or 2 minutes. They will be joining us.
Uh, Hello guys, am I audible? You can type in the chat box if you can hear me. You can just confirm.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, you are audible.
So yes, we have our next workshop from a New York-based augmented reality startup. So you might be aware about the game Pokemon Go. It is the best example which I can give you about augmented reality. So it is like spawning digital models on a real world space. So our next workshop will commence within 5 minutes. So the name of the startup is EchoAR, and they will tell how to build cloud-related augmented and virtual reality apps using their platforms. So the CEO of the company, Mr. Alan Grinspoon, will be with us, and we'll just commence the workshop shortly.
Uh, Guys, just wait for 5 minutes. He is just coming.
So
Till then, yes, you can brief about augmented reality and what will
So
be
yes,
the topic of the workshop.
actually, yes, I can brief you about virtual and augmented reality both. You actually know about virtual reality. It is creating a digital space where you are kept away from the real world space. So it is completely a virtual environment where you see digital objects. But augmented reality is different. In augmented reality, on real world space, some digital objects are spawned and you can interact with them. And currently, our very own company, Geo, Reliance Geo, is launching Geo Glass. They introduced it in the previous Reliance General Meet, which will create an interactive experience and basically revolutionize how we interact virtually and digitally with the objects. So yes, the industry 4.0 revolution is prevailing, and due to that, the concept of augmented reality combined with artificial intelligence and machine learning will enhance the user experience and in the prevailing times of COVID. So I think Rishabh, you can
Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here and welcome to the EchoAR workshop. Today we're going to talk about how to build an AR VR app in 15 minutes or less. We're going to talk about augmented reality, virtual reality, and how you can build applications really, really quickly. So thank you so much for joining. We're EchoAR. It's a cloud platform for augmented and virtual reality apps. We basically provide tools and network infrastructure for developers and companies to build AR VR applications at scale. I'm going to start by saying hello. I'm Alon, founder of EchoAR. We're based in New York. I did my master's at computer science at Columbia University, specializing in AR and VR. I did my undergrad in computer science and electrical engineering, specializing in cloud. So I'm a certified nerd and a big believer in the AR VR space. Now, before we start, I really want to level set here a little bit. We're going to throw these terms a lot, like augmented reality, virtual reality. So let's define them together in order to kind of level set everyone's kind of definitions. Virtual reality or VR is when everything around you is digital. You're fully immersed in a 3D environment, and everything you see is some computer generated image or CGI that is being projected into your eyes through a headset or some kind of glasses. Your entire kind of sensory is being kind of controlled through this device that's kind of completely occludes your vision, and you're controlling the interactions with controllers or with your hands, and sometimes it also kind of controls what you can hear. As opposed to augmented reality or AR, in which you still see the real world, but that world is being overlaid with CGI imagery and 3D content. You're looking at the world through some optical see-through, like glasses or a headset, or a camera see-through, like your phone or a tablet. But again, you can still see the real world. A really good understanding of this is the amazing movie Space Jam, in which we have Michael Jordan being teleported into Looney Towns. Everything around him is a cartoon. Everything around him is kind of this CGI image that is basically interacting with bugs and all the other Looney Tunes in their own kind of environment, as opposed to what's happening in the last thing, in the last part of the movie, in which you have the Looney Tunes coming to us, interacting with Jordan and Bill Murray in a real world court, basically kind of playing in the real world. And that's the biggest differentiation. It's either us kind of teleporting ourselves into Looney Town, or Looney Town is coming to us. Again, the kind of comical understanding of AR and VR. Another kind of real world examples that all of you probably know is something like Pokemon Go, when people are running around interacting with digital monsters that are not really there. That's a really good example of augmented reality. Or for virtual reality, we have something like Beat Saber, that you're kind of slashing cubes based on the rhythm of your music in a fully kind of CGI and a fully 3D environment that you kind of can't see the real world through. Another example that is really close to my heart is, and the pun is definitely intended here, is my thesis project back at Columbia University. We took CT and MRI scans, converted into 3D models, put them on these smart glasses called the HoloLens for the physician to wear. And basically, the physician would get an inside look at the patient's anatomy in real time. It was an amazing experience. I got the opportunity to kind of scrub into surgery and basically give the physician this kind of 3D reference map of the patient's anatomy. It was an amazing use case of augmented reality. But the problem was that I had to do something that I really, really hate in order to achieve that. And that's waking up early in the morning. I had to go to the hospital every day at like 6 a.m., take those 2D scans, convert them to 3D models, rebuild the application, and put those on these smart glasses. And that process was so frustrating. It took so much time. And as a developer, I only wanted to do two things: manage the assets and deliver them to an AR device. And when talking to other developers building augmented and virtual reality applications for retail and shopping and data visualization and game, they all said the same thing. There is no easy way to manage and deliver 3D data. Wait, if you think about it, this problem was already solved for 2D. If you want to build a website, you can use something like Heroku as your kind of cloud platform. If you want to use Parse, or if you want to build a mobile app, you can use Parse or Firebase as your kind of backend as a service. So we went from web to mobile to now AR, VR, immersive, XR, 3D, call it whatever. And question has to be asked: who's going to build that cloud platform for this new type of content? And you've guessed it, that's what we do at EchoAR. We are a cloud platform for 3D applications, basically providing tools and network infrastructure to build AR/VR applications at scale. So we're super excited to be here. Thank you so much for joining. Today we're going to talk about, again, some concepts about augmented and virtual reality, see how they intersect in the cloud, show how to build applications, and we're going to have a lot of fun. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the live chat and I'll try to respond. I see a lot of you already saying hello, so hello everyone. Really excited to be here. So think about it. The same way you don't need to be a web developer to update a blog post, you can just drag and drop an image or video, suddenly they appear in web and mobile. And if I'm in New York and you're in California and we're both watching an episode on Netflix, we automatically get the best streaming experience. We translated these concepts into augmented and virtual reality, basically providing you with a way to manage and deliver 3D data and get the best 3D streaming experience. And what's interesting here is this kind of bi-directional connection between content and data, as opposed to web or mobile that you as a user can't move an image or a video on a website. You can definitely move a 3D couch across the room, and that needs to be updated on the cloud. So this is basically what we've built, this content management movement delivery network that's specific for 3D. Go to our website to register. If you're here from a hackathon or an event or a club, make sure to use the affiliated link that we shared with the organizers to basically get a perk to kind of get our our premium tier kind of features for free. So definitely check out this with your event organizers. But you can always just register on our website. We have a generous free tier. Once you do that, you're going to get an API key. It's a key that allows you to kind of start building applications. And now we're going to see how you do that. So once you register on our website using the affiliated link or through just directly on our website, you're going to get an API key, as I mentioned. This is mine. What you see here on the left is our console, and on the right, you just see my phone. So I'm going to start with something super, super simple. I'm going to add some content to our cloud, so you can add your own files, like images, videos, 3D models, or you can choose any of the kind of models that we have here in the library, or even use the search engine to put in any word you want to search for 3D models for free. I'm going to start with something simple. I'm going to throw in this Empire State Building, posting it to our cloud. What happens right now is that we take that 3D model that is really suited for 3D printing, and we convert it so it works on Android and iOS, and magically in all these different AR/VR platforms. Once it's done, I can see it right here. I can see the kind of 3D model of the Empire State Building. I can open the sample app right here on my phone. It's available right here that you can just download. I'm going to plug in my API key. So plugging this key in the app. Data will stream from the cloud to the app. So the Empire State will kind of be delivered to my phone. Now you can see my apartment. The camera kind of recognizes the floor. And voila, the Empire State is here with me. And I can walk around it, walk inside it. Super, super simple. Now, what happens if I want to change this to something else? So instead of rebuilding the application and doing anything technical, I'm going to go back to the console. I'm going to delete the previous entry, upload something else, and that will automatically update in the app and across all platforms. So let's see that. So let's throw in this building instead. Same process occurs. We're taking the 3D model, kind of building it again, so we'll work in augmented reality. Once that's done, let's plug in the same API key. Data will stream from the cloud to the device. And voila. So only we see into the Empire State, we see this building. How simple is that? Now, I also mentioned that we stream things across all platforms. So this was a native Android example, native mobile example. We work with a company, for example, in the art agency space that they wanted to have people randomly walk into an art gallery, open a phone, and suddenly see things in AR without installing anything. Is that possible? Yes, it is. So with EchoAR, what you can do is you can click this button right here. It will open this QR code that you can scan. So if you're watching the stream live, scan this QR code. It should work for you as well. Just open kind of camera. Most cameras on iOS or Android already have this built-in QR code scanner. Scan this. If you're looking at this video live, it will redirect you to a website. You don't have to install anything. I'm going to kind of scan this. As you can see, it redirected me to a website. You can see the you can kind of see the 3D model right here. I'm going to click CNAR. The camera again will instantiate, and automatically I'm able to see things in augmented reality. Look how simple is that. So there you go. I can see the building. I can place it around. Super simple. Let's move it a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Super simple. And here, again, you don't have to install anything. I just had to kind of open it through a website, and that's it. How cool is that? And again, you can scan it yourself, and I'm going to leave it right here. EchoAR stream 3D model to your phone automatically. Oh, we have great reactions in the chat. That's fantastic. So now that we've seen mobile web, let's see another example of how you can build applications, and later we're going to dive into that. And that's Unity. It's a game engine a lot of developers love to use. So let's open this Unity app. Our Unity SDK is right here. So you can download it, and we have like a bunch of kind of sample apps. We're going to talk about that later. So I'm going to open this Unity app. Super simple. Again, recognizes the floor, seeing the 3D model on the floor, very similar to what we had earlier. What if I want to change things in real time? For example, say I want to make this content animate. So I can click this button right here to kind of show the data channel. And I'm going to add things like, let's direct equals. So this is the kind of key value database that you can add to your content. You can add anything you want. It doesn't have to be direct. It can be any key, any value. And video is only in real time starts to animate. How cool is that? If I want to make it, let's say, 2 times bigger, I can add scale equals 2. Bam, suddenly it became 2 times bigger. And all I had to do is like click a few buttons and that's it. So super, super simple. And again, just to show you the power of the cloud, how cool it is that you can like change things in real time across all platforms. So all your users like suddenly automatically kind of have the same content being changed. Perfect. So we saw web, we saw mobile, now we saw Unity. Very, very cool and kind of really, really easy to build applications. Now let's see what else we can do. All the examples that we saw so far were based on surface detection. The camera recognizes a floor and kind of surface, and will overlay that with 3D models. That surface could be a floor, a table, a chair, a wall, whatever. But another technology that we support is image recognition, basically allowing you to overlay content on top of images. So let's see how that works. So for example, I can click this button right here to open the QR code. And now instead of doing see on the floor, I can click see on an image. I can scan this QR code. And again, if you're watching this live, you can scan this QR code as well with me. Just put your phone in front of it, have the QR code kind of read it, and then redirect it to a website. You don't have to install anything. Camera automatically. And now the 3D model we have kind of overlays this QR code, like it's going to jump out of my screen. It's kind of being projected on top of the image. Really cool, again, just different type of tracking. It can be really useful if you want to have basically any image. So you can put your business card and then you overlay it with videos, or you can have a magazine and you can kind of overlay that with an ad. Super simple. And now let's see how you can do that with kind of custom images as well. So up until now, we played around with 3D models, but I can also, as I mentioned, like upload a video. So let's do that. So I can just upload an MP4 file. Let's do that. And then now I'm going to put it on a specific image. So I'm going to click on an image and I'm going to choose an image. There you go, just a PNG file. Uploading to our cloud. What happens right now is very similar to what we had earlier, but now we're kind of converting images and videos as opposed to a 3D model. We have some reactions in the chat. Perfect, yeah. Really appreciate that you're loving it. So we see the video right here. Maybe also let's add another type of content. So I can also add things on specific locations. So for example, I can throw in this fox in New York. And this means that you can kind of build applications based on locations. You can build applications based on location. So you can build an app that if you open it in New York, you see the Empire State, but if you open it in San Francisco, you're going to see the Golden Gate Bridge. Super, super simple, but again, like another type of target that you can kind of place your content with. So there you go. Suddenly we see this fox kind of standing right here, and specifically we tagged it in New York, and we tag this image in on this. So let's see if that works. I'm going to scan this QR code, and again, if you're watching this live, you can scan this with me. Redirect to a website. Again, you don't have to install anything. Once that is done, we're able to see that now the camera on my phone does not kind of detect the QR code anymore. It doesn't kind of recognize it because we put a specific custom image. So if I click this image and I kind of open it, the camera recognizes this image. You see now it's like this custom image that I chose. And there you go. The video is playing and I can scale it up, scale it down with my fingers. But the video is kind of overlaying the new custom image, which is like really, really powerful. There you go. Awesome. So we saw mobile, web, Unity, surface detection, image recognition. Let's see now, well, what are the other things that we can do with the console, and later dive into how to build a project with Unity, which will be a little more technical than all the things that we did so far. So what can we do as well? So we can change the theme, as we just saw, kind of switch around colors, dark being the default. We have the downloads page, the downloads menu that is going to have access to the sample apps, the SDKs that you can build applications with, if it's Unity or Java or Swift or Flutter. We have some example code that we're going to review later, and a link to our GitHub page. There's like really cool resources here. Like for example, our documentation is like really powerful. It has literally a step-by-step guide of everything we just did. So for example, how to add a 3D model, like everything is like in a GIF form, really, really cool. I really recommend. I'm going to share that in the chat right here so you can kind of gloss through it. Another good resource that we have is our GitHub page. So this is a page filled with amazing examples of AR and VR that you can kind of play around with. So let me open a few of them to kind of share with you. But let's see, let's do this one and this one, and let's do this one, and maybe this one as well. There's like so many open source projects right here that you can just like, specifically if you're working on a hackathon, just like copy, paste, and start with, because they're really cool and they're kind of already pre-integrated with all of our tech. So for example, this is kind of a cool election demo with Unity. You can throw in like 3D models and images and kind of predict the results of the election, or this kind of living room inside a living room in AR that you can kind of stream a movie in a virtual living room, which is really cool. I'm going to share the link in a sec. Face swap, if you want to do some face changes, you can do that with EchoAR as well. So many really cool examples. If you want to build an educational app, like showing people the solar system, you can do that. Here's another example of like a remote work. You can kind of project a person's face. Or here's another one that uses image detection that kind of brings images to life. So I'm going to share this link right here as well. So definitely kind of use this as a resource. What else can we do? We have our Slack channel that is basically kind of really useful to ask our team for any support if you have any questions. I'll also be sure to kind of stick around there and answer any questions as well. You can always email us and send us a tweet. Other stuff that you can do. So we already saw that you can kind of manage data, or maybe I'll send another extra link that you can kind of share 3D models. And there you go. Here's a 3D model that you can like watch right now if you go to this link with your phone. So what else can we do? So we can manage data. That's the thing that we already saw. And we can literally see the kind of data that is associated with every 3D model. But we also have this global database that we can kind of share data across all the apps. We have a company, for example, they were working on this murder mystery game, kind of this scavenger hunt. And they had different kind of objects associated with different scenes, but they also had kind of data that is associated with all the scenes. And the subscription page, we have all the kind of your subscription. If you use the affiliated link from a hackathon, you're going to get this tier for free. So definitely check out that perk. And we also have our plan kind of showing like how many API calls you're making, how much storage you're making, how much bandwidth you're using. So definitely kind of check that out. We have a question, if it implements in React.js, yeah, you can use that in React. We have an example right here for React Native, for example, and like all these different platforms, like again, Java, Swift, Flutter. And also in our documentation, we have a RESTful API that you can kind of choose to use with any platform out there. Even if we don't have an SDK for, you can kind of use the RESTful API. Location is a cool page, shows you the distribution of content. Like remember, we added that Fox in New York, so you can see that's right here. You see the server coverage. You can see in the security page, you can add people to your team. So if you're building a project as a team, you can kind of add extra users. That's really powerful. Insights is a really cool page, shows you again like some kind of information and analytics about your app. For example, we streamed the apartment building, so there you go. We see a spike in usage, and kind of that this is the 3D model that we use most so far. We see some information about our project that is really useful. We can see the distribution of users. Tutorials is a really cool, powerful page that shows you like some frequently asked questions. Link to our GitHub or link to our documentation, and kind of some of the projects that we already saw earlier that you can kind of play around with, and they're already open source, and you can kind of play around with it and kind of expand on that. Inspiration page is my favorite page. It is filled with amazing examples of things that you can build in AR and VR, and some of them are powered by EchoAR, like the art installation that I mentioned, or the murder mystery game, or this kind of 5G project that we did with Verizon. So many really, really cool projects for military use and advertising and shopping and retail and data navigation and games and COVID-19. These are some really cool projects that people did around COVID-19. You should definitely check them out. And like, there's so many projects here that use, again, surface detection or image recognition for education or travel, or really, really cool stuff like this mask visualizer. So definitely kind of explore this page to get a sense of what you can build in augmented and virtual reality. And if you kind of build a project and you send it to us, we'll be happy to kind of feature it for everyone and kind of share it with the community. So definitely kind of share your project, and I'm so looking forward to see where you're all going to build. Perfect. So we've played around with the console. You saw how we can add data, how we can manage data, how we can kind of deliver it and kind of optimize that and see content like really, really fast. Now let's turn into a more technical part of the workshop and talk about how to build applications using a game engine called Unity. So in the downloads menu, as I mentioned, you have our Unity SDK. You just click that, you download our SDK. It's a file. Once you double click that in Unity, it's going to be added to your project. This is Unity. As I mentioned, again, it's a game engine a lot of developers love to use to build applications. It's super easy to learn, but does require some coding. We have an empty scene right here. When you add our Unity SDK, you're going to get this EchoAR folder. If you double click that and go to the examples, you're going to see this sample scene. Again, it's this empty scene. There's nothing here. But if I click the EchoAR game object and I add our API key and press play, data will stream from the cloud to the game engine, which is really, really cool. And we'll be able to see all these 3D content kind of populate the 3D scene. So there you go. Now we're seeing the building is rotating, the fox kind of occluded by the building. and this video is playing automatically. Very cool, very easy. I'm going to delete the video because it's playing in my ear, but check out how I'm deleting in the console. Automatically, it disappears from the game engine. Or if I want to move the fox, we already know how to do that. I'm going to do like x equals 10 to move it 10 feet away. There you go. Suddenly it moves. Very, very easy. And what else is I can do is like if I pause, like if I stop this application from running, everything disappears. So again, the cool thing about it is data comes from the cloud. It's not persisting on memory. It's not going to make your app really, really big. It's actually making it really, really small because the assets are not really there. They're coming from the cloud. Only when you restart the application, data again will stream from the cloud to the game engine. Again, reassuring that your app will be super, super small. The cool thing about it is that when things return, we can see that the building is still rotating. The fox is still 10 feet away. So what we have here is a stateful content management system, a stateful CMS. Basically, it remembers the state of the object and kind of returns the scene to its original form. And this, again, a really powerful thing that you can construct the scene and then kind of recreate it. But now let's see what we can do in order to kind of change things. We're kind of, let's see, want to add features and whatnot. So I'm going to delete the building and going to the Fox Center. There you go. We're going to see that here. So we have Arctic Fox right here. And now let's say we want to add some content or we want to add some features or whatnot. So the cool thing about EchoAR is that every kind of 3D model, every kind of 3D video or image has the EchoAR custom behavior. Script attached to it. It's a C# script in Unity format that basically allows you to kind of, that is attached to every kind of content that's being instantiated, and you can use that to add features. So I'm going to open that script right here, and it's in C#. Right now, you should two major functions. One is the start function, evident by its name, happens when you start the application. Another function is the update function. This is a really cool function. Basically, happens every single frame. Remember, you're coding in 3D now. This means there's a kind of there is a scene running. There's this video being rendered on your phone. And this function is being kind of instantiated every single frame. This means that, again, remember your CS fundamentals, make sure that this function does not hang or get stuck, that the complexity is really good. Because if it does, your entire application will get stuck or will just hang. So definitely kind of make sure that this is well optimized. But let's start with something simple. We have this here that not good. They have the additional data called name. If so, send the name of the I change if I use the name of the anything you want I press play again, data came from the but now they have that extra feature that it will check for the name at the beginning and instead of that name. So there you go. Now we have so this is obviously a simple example, but it's to show that you can kind of use the data experience at the game engine or disable features, really useful stuff. the name Sam, nothing happens. Because that would only have to restart the application. So restart the application. Now the data will be reinstantiated. They'll check it again, and there you go. Now we have Sam the fox. Perfect. But what happens if you want this to happen every single frame? And you've guessed it, we're going to kind of move this from the start function to the update function. There we go. So now every single frame we're going to ask, do I have any additional data? If I do I have a name? And if so, it's set that name to the name of the object. Let's click play again. Data will stream from the cluster device. We're going to see Sam the fox right here in front of us. And then if you want to change its name, we should expect it to kind of change automatically. So there you go, Sam the fox is here. And now if I change this to Kevin, bam, now it's Kevin. How easy is that? Again, a really, really simple example. So now we're going to transition into a more complicated example that we can add features. We're going to build a COVID visualizer that, again, is really open sourced, and like you can use it on through our GitHub. On our GitHub page, we have that example. You can just take it, but I'm going to recreate it now with you all. We have a question. Does it work? Yeah, it definitely works with Unity 2020. You don't have to downgrade. We definitely recommend like 2019 long-term support, because I think it's the stablest version, but you can definitely use 2020, and that's totally fine. Great question. I'm specifically using 2019.2. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to upload some different content. I'm going to throw in a file specifically for my computer just to show you they can throw in 3D models. I'm going to throw in this 3D model, and I'm also going to give it this kind of CSV file, this Excel file, that basically has all these keys and values already preloaded. Our system will kind of parse that data and kind of plug in these keys and values automatically, so you don't have to kind of type them manually. So know that this is another cool feature that you can have. And I'm also going to swap the custom behavior script under the hood to basically allow for different kind of features. So let's do that. So I'm going to replace that. Perfect. So now the custom behavior script is much more interesting. It's going to have more meat on it. So let's kind of review it together. Well, what do we have here? So we have the script. It suddenly has some array of continents. It has a dictionary. It has this data structure. It has the start function right here that looks exactly the same. We can see that the Earth, like our blue planet right here, is already kind of rendered into the cloud. And we can also see that all these kind of keys and values that I uploaded with the content are already here, which is perfect. Back here, the update function is much more interesting. Check this out. It has like so many more things. For example, we're asking, do I have any additional data? If I do I have a scale? If so, let's kind of parse that out into an integer. Then let's iterate over all continents. If I have information about a continent, let's parse the number that is associated as the number of cases of COVID in that continent. If I have a graph, let's set that size of the graph based on the number that we just got. If not, let's create a graph. Let's create a cylinder, give it a color, give it a name, give it a location and a size. Let's add a text to it as well. And if we don't have any information, let's just delete that graph. So let's see what that does when we press play. Again, data will stream from the cloud to the device. We should see our building, and voila, check this out. How cool is that? We have the kind of Earth spinning, and we have all this information about all these kind of continents right here. And again, these were instantiated through code. So now if I change things on our console, for example, let's say I want to say that the number of cases in Antarctica just spiked, bam, automatically it changes. If I delete Antarctica, it deletes here again. So this is, again, a really cool example of how you can build something in EchoAR. You can play around with it. You can take this project, as I mentioned, it's open source on our GitHub page, and expand on it. You can connect this project to some third-party API, let's say the World Health Organization or like the WHO, and have, instead of you putting these numbers kind of manually, you can have real-time numbers through API calls and kind of post those numbers in real time. That sounds like a really winning project for a hackathon that you kind of expand on this example and kind of show actual real-world examples kind of updating in real time, and then you can build this in augmented reality and see it around you, which is really, really cool. Perfect. And again, when I stop, everything kind of disappears. Perfect. So let's recap. What did we see so far? So we saw examples of how you can build applications for mobile, for web, for Unity. We doubled down on Unity and like showed how you can kind of use the game engine. Everything we did in the beginning of the workshop was really non-technical, like dragging and dropping things, scanning QR codes, putting your API keys and only see things on the floor. So even the content creators among us who are not that technical can build applications really, really quickly. And we build, store, and deliver that content all over the world and to all devices. You as a developer kind of save time and money in building your application. Content creators need no technical skills to do that. And companies can literally kind of scale their applications all over the world and send data all over the world. We talked about use cases like healthcare and ads and tourism and shopping and home design. We saw the inspiration page that is filled with amazing examples of AR and VR. And I'm so looking forward to see what you're going to build and kind of be added to the inspiration page. A little bit more about us as a company. We won a bunch of awards, and we are sponsored by the backed by the most amazing investors in the country, like Imagine Ventures and Techstars and Verizon, and we were featured in all these amazing events. We love to say that we power applications across all platforms. So kind of really excited to see what you're all going to build with augmented and virtual reality powered by EchoAR. Because again, you're limited only by imagination. And if you start kind of playing around with 3D and kind of start playing with AR and VR, the sky is the limit, literally. So make sure you register or use the affiliated link that you have through your kind of organizers of the event. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, again, we're going to use the Slack link to kind of join our Slack to kind of ask any questions. So I'll kind of stick around there to answer. But make sure you kind of register to get your API key. Thank you so much for being in this workshop. I had a blast. Again, feel free to kind of reach out and start building amazing, amazing things. Really kind of looking forward to see what you're going to build. This is definitely the time to build AR VR applications, and you're in the right spot and have the resources. So thank you so much for everyone for being here. If you have questions, please write them down in the chat. I'm happy to answer. So let's see. Sammy is asking. So Sammy, so if you already